Okay. Alrighty, hello there. We are doing a little video. I was planning to put a lot more effort into editing, but I keep seeing God knows how many videos popping up in my feed about people claiming XYZ about perfect electrics and the inputs and what's a lie and what's a myth and what's true and this is how you do it, this is how you do it, this is how you do it, and it's the most benign, useless shite I've ever seen. You know, it's the most like wet-handed fucking this is how you do it, and then they just copy paste the input. Like, anyone who's been looking into how to do these things there doesn't already fucking know the input. So it's what, 7 AM here? I'm not going to bed yet, so here's my kind of like just fucking slap together talk through about PEWGF. So, what do you know? You know, down forward 2 leaves him standing for 13 frames. June is standing. 14 frames, June is floated. June is standing, June is floated. Down here, anyone who is new, 14 frame input on back 2, sorry. And the 13 frame on down forward 4. She stands, right? That's basically a free hit. Free hit. It's not a delayed float like that. You get the picture. Anyway. Okay, so one big thing everyone has there, not everyone, that's disingenuous there, a lot of people have is buffering the forward input on the perfect electric. This might be a hot take, this might be just me here, but words kind of matter when you're making these kind of distinctions and claims, right? Buffering in Tekken has a very specific meaning, at least in my eye there. Things that are bufferable are things that can be input before they even are recovered to be input. I.e. when King does his like down back 3, he's doing like the giant swing input way before he's finished his animation, and all he's doing is pressing the forward and the 1 or whatever the input is there, the last input of the whole command after he's recovered. And that's, you get the same thing with Devil Jun's giant swing from his down back 2. You buffer it in there. It's a huge command there, but you can get it out within 10 or 12 frames, whatever the command grab is. Perfect Electric does not work like that in this scenario. Yes, you can hold forward. I'm not used to this technique, so I'm not going to be able to do it for you, but you can hold forward, release it, and then do neutral down forward in 2. You can do it that way. Or hold it and then do your just frame jump to down. Something that I do not find consistent enough on pad. Let's put it that way. I'd say this input forward, down, down, forward is easier if you're playing like on a 360 D-pad. Because the way that they're less like buttons and more like you're playing on a stick. That's basically what the original 360 pad was. It was a central stick with a plastic plate on the top. But because it was so small and nimble, you could move across it very quickly and very nimbly, right? Okay, so you can do that. The reason it's not bufferable is because it doesn't negate the fact that when you release this F input, this forward must be released on the first frame of recovery after the down forward 2. There's no two ways about that. You cannot escape that. Holding it and not holding it and just like doing a generic forward input. My forward input there is 4 frames, right? It's not a just frame. If I do a pew, it's a 5 frame buffer there. I wasn't bad. 3 attempts, right? I've not done anything. And it's fucking this time in the morning that I'm dead. Anyway, point being, I'm not doing a 1 frame fucking like the tax that doing this command has on your body, right? Because that's the payoff for doing this there. It's like, hey, yeah, we can do 314 or 314 all fucking day there, blah, blah, blah. Doing this, like the physical strain that has for you to exert that timing and do it that fast. And if you're just spamming like down forward 2 and you've got someone that's just eating it all day long, like regardless if you're comfortable hitting it or not and your muscle memory is there, it's gonna start like wearing at you. You're gonna get sore thumbs, you're gonna get your joints, whatever it is there, your ligaments, blah blah blah. You're gonna heat up. You know? You're using it way too fucking much for like what your body's capable. Let's put it that way. Okay, so buffering's out the way. Buffering doesn't really fucking matter. All that matters is that this is released on the first frame of this recovery, right? That's it. The way I approached it when I was learning it, because I thought, right, everyone kept telling me it's muscle memory, it's muscle memory, it's muscle memory, it's muscle memory, and there is credit to that. There is credit to that. However, in Tekken 7 at the time when I was learning it, it wasn't, let's say, stable, right? I think Tekken 8's probably more unstable with consoles and all the fucking Wi-Fi shit. But nevertheless. So, if you're me and you're an arsehole, you're looking for like perfection. You're looking for something that gives you consistency, and if it's not consistent, you have a workaround for that to achieve it. And that's down to your self-control, right? And it's not just saying, well, you just need to figure out the lag, right? That'd be a blasé way of putting it, right? What I mean is that when you're doing your PEW, you first thing, if you're learning anything, I didn't know this originally at the time, but they always had this feature, at least in Tag 2. You have this thing called Simple Display. You do this, right? Now what I would do is simply pause the game on that last frame when he's recovered. Alright. Simple enough. The combos I would do in Tekken 7, the 1, 2, 4, 3. Wow, I'm killing it tonight. Back to 1, it would have been in Tekken 7. I did that by analysing 1, 2, 4, 3 on recovery. And there's a moment where his leg is right there, as it is there. When it makes this kind of angle. I don't know how you'd want to describe it, but it's that kind of angle, this leg. At that point, he's recovered, and the pain in the arse with the game is that he's not recovered until his foot's back on the floor, according to the recovery animation of this shit. It's a bit of a similar thing with electrics. Maybe, maybe not. Who fucking knows? There's so many inconsistencies in this fucking game, it's unreal. Anyway, so you've now learned, or the down forward 2 thing is, right? The way I put it to myself is that as he's pulling his arm back, if you imagine, this isn't just a debunk of why everyone else is a fucking idiot when they're trying to explain this, this is just my take on it. If you imagine he has a bar, like a pole of metal, going underneath his arm here and forward, right? The way I think of it is his arm here, his right fist, has gone down here as he's done the punch, and as he recovers it, he brings it back up and then down to his side. So if you imagine somewhere in the middle here, there is a bar that's poking out through here, and his wrist is basically resting on it right now. Now, the way I think of it, and this kind of goes into it in more detail than you need there, because we've already said there's a recovery frame, right? This is how I do it. When his fist hits the apex of this ascension, going back from recovery up and then down, that's my green light. That's when I'm starting my input of forward. And yeah, I'm doing it for 4 frames, I'm doing it for 5 frames, so there's variability in that there. That'll be down to me as well. But the point is, I now have something that I'm looking for, and it's very, very, very clear in terms of the framing on screen. Like, it's distinct, it stands out, I can recognise the frame. Let me get rid of this shit as well. I've done enough of that. So, you now have your distinct frame. Now you're working on your input, and we're doing that too fast. There you go. So, if I'm doing it, and I'm doing it like this, you can tell because it's a down forward 2, I'm doing the input too fast, right? because the forwards are getting eaten by the recovery frames. Down forward 2 comes out, so it's like, right, you're just doing this into this. Slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down with the right input. There you go, right? So you have your standpoint for where you're like, that's my keyframe. Here's my go sign. Here's my go, 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 go. And all you're doing after that point, once you find something you can clearly define and say like, that's it, I got this, then everything after that is you calibrating yourself to it. So if you're early, you go slower, and you'll do this a million times, right? You'll be like, I can feel it, I'm going like 50% slower. There's at least 500 frames in the time that I'm like delaying this and and you're not getting the electric, right? That's good. It's good because you're really learning how actually long a frame is in reality. Life isn't counted in frames per second, right? Life is just fucking infinite. There you go. The moment is infinite, right? It's not done in you can milliseconds, nanoseconds, however far down you want to go, right? You set your own limit in that sense there. So if you're like, oh, well, it's in these frames and I can't go faster in the frame, then you're fucked. You kind of have to overcome that hurdle. And when you're doing this, into this, into this, into this, you'll begin to realize, holy shit, it's actually a lot slower than I give credit for. So it's like, you're delaying your input, but when you're doing the input, you're doing it fast. So it's this kind of like blend of, you know, the greyhounds at the racetrack there. It's like they're fucking raring to go after that hare. Once the gunshot goes off there, and once it fucking takes off there, but you can't go early. You go early, you're disqualified. So it's, and this is all part of that tension. However relaxed you are and all that kind of shit there, it all adds up to when you're doing this all the fucking time. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes there. But as long as you can identify where those mistakes are. So here we've done forward down and I'm doing a neutral, right? It's registering that because the cushions on your pad, you gotta have all that shit down pat. You gotta know where forward transitions and down forward, where down transitions. And you need to find like the sweet spot where the pad actually registers, or your stick registers, or whatever the fuck you're using registers the input change. Because if your thumb's near the center, say on the D-pad, you've got less space to move across, right? So you can be quicker the closer your thumb is to the center of your pad. The further out to the edges of the buttons you are, the further your thumb has to move, right? And you've got to tie that in with the fact the cushion has to push it back up, and then you've got to compress it back down again. Some of you might have slow cushions, some of you might have faster ones, more responsive pads, etc, etc, etc. I've done this with a shard of fucking broken plastic that's been cutting out my thumb, so no excuses to any of you out there try to do this there. None. I'll include photos from doing it like another video there, because it's probably like fucking content shit there. I would get like taken down by YouTube there for being like graphic fucking, you know, arterial blood. I bled a lot. Good incentive to do it the right fucking way, even on a pad like that. Okay. So, you've gone through fuse. We've gone through doing it. We've gone through recovery. We've not really touched on, I'd say, the biggest error, which is still this whole, you're getting 2, you're getting down forward 2, you're getting dick jab, you're getting all this stuff there. A lot of people, I'm just going to like pull out another example here. This is something that I had when I was learning. Like way back when Main Man was doing, I think it was like Kaz and Jinpachi 4. Maybe in 4 or 3. I joined his stream for the first stream I'd ever been in there, and I asked him how you do his Demon Godfist combo, which if you've not seen there, his isn't even optimal, by the way. I got that. If you watch this Main Man, you got to do sidestep up back 1-2 with Jinpachi into the 3-4 Kazumi scissor kicks, and then Kaz ends with the CD3. It will connect. You just need to get the timing on that deep dash right afterwards. And it's sick. And it's 116 to 122 damage. So it's fairly moderate. fairly moderate. No, it's not huge because the damage in the combo is already insane, but hey, you're a combo king, right? So there you go. Anyway. Oh yeah, I just basically got told, here's the input, and it's only for gods like him, right? So that was the big fuck you from him to me at that time, however many years ago it was. But the idea of doing this, I can tell you the inputs, like, oh, you wave dash, do a neutral into back, hold the back for 1 frame. As you can see here, 1 frame of back, and then 2. This stops your forward movement, gives you the while rising, and then this is your into the while rising. Like the first one's basically how I think of it, is it's registering the stop. It's putting you into crouch standing. The 2 gets the while standing there. I might be wording that abysmally, but that's kind of how I think of it. Point being is that it was all about rhythm though. Because if you're doing it from a wave dash, you can do it slow, you can do it fast. You don't want to get that, you want to get that. And the problem I had, and I still have with electrics when doing this, is I freeze. I'm doing it right there. Like, I don't know when to press 2 because he's wave dashing too fast. I'm like, it needs to be an electric, so it has to be a just frame, and all this shit's going on the screen there. I can't really see Kazuya. My mind's focused more on the screen than it is on my own thumb, and if I look at my own thumb, it's moving faster than I think about comprehending what it's doing, so it's like, it's a no, 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 no. You just have to go on feel. Like, you have to feel that shit out. So the point is that you must not block. And what I mean by that is, like, the same thing people actually learn pews, and they're like, yeah, I can do them offline, I can do them in practice mode and all this shit. There's like, no, do them online. Like, oh no, but I can't, I'll get hit and I'll lose so many shit there. Like, bro, my staple in fucking ranked 7 was that combo. Ranked, right? And I lived and died. My rank was as good as I was consistent at my combos. And that was my, like, that's how you get good at it. I'm not saying you have to go to that level to get there with Kazuya, but if you're wanting to get like this shit, and you want it to be down pat for you, yeah, you're gonna have to like take some hits. If you actually want to use it, you're gonna have to fuck up a lot. It's everyone who's got combo videos there, PGF, Main Man, Medusa, all the rest of them. They've got a fucking ton of fuck ups, but they're not gonna make YouTube highlights. They're not gonna make the majority of their content unless you're watching them play, right? But their whole focus is narrowing down that shit as much as possible. And this was my foolproof way of doing it. So, you have this whole you're doing this, and then you're changing the timing. Now the point in the not blocking thing is you must at least hit a button. Like, your movement is doing whatever it's doing, right? But your 2, for this, must always be, like, you can't just go, ooh, and then like panic, right? You have to put something so that you've at least got a rhythm going. Because the point in this whole thing is rhythm. And the thing with the while standing too is that even between all these wave dashes, you're still keeping the same rhythm of when you're doing that 2. When you're finally dropping that 2 or doing the twin pistons. If I'm gonna get it now. Lol. Lol. Oh my god. Finally. If you do it slow, oh my god, there you go. I did it too fast. Still too fast. Anyway, warm-ups, shit like that. you may not be getting this, no idea. But you're basically keeping, like, even if the tempo increases, the rhythm stays the same. So that, like, this, and then you doing this, shouldn't be like you're fucking lost in the woods there. The same way as, like, learning pews on your weak side shouldn't be like I'm fucking lost, I'm lost. Like, I never play on P2, it's my weak side. Ask Ducky, fucking throwing me every time with these Noctis and then forcing me to play on this side. Every fucking game I played against them. Fuck you, Ducky. You have your same timing, your same thing. Like, I can't see his right hand here, even the visual cue. But I know roughly what the animation looks like. I know what I'm roughly looking for, even from this side, even though it's unfamiliar, right? And I know, even though I can't get this input clearly, it feels so uncomfortable on my thumb just doing forward neutral, down forward 2. You have to trust that the unfamiliarity is what you're actually looking for. If you're doing pews 24/7 and you're just getting this and this, or you're getting this and that, or this and that, you have to be like cognizant that what you're doing is like perfectly the wrong thing. Like you're really fucking good at being consistently doing it wrong. And consistent in the way that you're doing it wrong. Like you're doing 14 frame electrics, you're doing it too early, too fast. You make the shift of like, well, you do it earlier, but then when you make that shift of doing it earlier, you haven't taken into consideration the electric still needs to be the same, that you were doing that right. And so because you've brought the initial starting point of your electric forward, you've kind of like stretched out or, compacted your input window. So the whole thing goes off again there. So it's like you fix one thing, the other thing breaks. You fix that thing, then the original thing breaks again. So it's recognizing those things and then having like the peace of mind to just put them both together and be like, okay, I'm doing this part wrong. Let me nail that. Move on to this. I'm nailing this part. I'm fucking up this part. Right. And then that's your own mental battle of if you can actually control your body and get past that. But they're not fucking superhuman. Helps if I look at the screen. Oh my god. There was a time. There was a time. And that's what you're looking for. And you'll probably find as well that when you're not doing it in practice, something that I can attest to, when I'm in matches I hit way more pews. My consistency like skyrockets than when I'm in the lab here. Because like, yeah, you just blah blah blah. It's like when you're practicing it, you're not thinking, you're not really like life or death. I need this. You're like, well, I'll learn some combos. I'll do some optimal combo shit there. And it'll be fun for that. Didn't delay the 2. Feels bad. Right? But when you're in game and you're looking for that window, you're like, nah, I've baited it so long, I've done so many of these on block and I've not done anything, and now you're about 50%, fuck you, right? And you let it fly. In that moment, because you've just played like 2 fucking rounds against a Victor doing stupid shit, or Raven trying to set a black hole, or whatever the fuck it is there, and you want to hurt that cunt, you'll hit it. You will fucking hit it. 100%. Maybe not 100%, but you know what I mean. So you've got stakes upon stakes upon stakes that'll add to that there. Your adrenaline will also help there. If you wake up and you're groggy, and you're doing it like this, do it fucking early. I'd start the input now. It's nowhere near. That's where I'd normally like do it. Round about there. Just before this frame here. But I'm saying like if you're groggy, if you're slow as fuck, do it 5 years early. Get it done, you know? If you're super fast, do it slower. Alright. If you're like me, that's my comfort. Right there. And you might have just seen that and it looks the same there, but that's the only one I'm reacting to right at that point. So yeah, your tempo, your fucking, you know, your start frame, all this shit there, blah, blah, blah. The other reason I'd say it helps, I'm going to stress this, unfortunately, Heihachi doesn't have his old down forward 1-2, so we're going to use Brian here. Because pews aren't just for down forward 2s, they're for punishment. Of course. So Brian has these 2 things that they like to do. Sorry, they have one thing they like to do. This other one is not a thing. It's not that. It's that. Okay. So, in this, the animation itself here, for blocking, I'm just going to push this onto blocking as well, though. If you don't care about block punishment with pews, then forget about this here. But the golden rule, which no one fucking talks about, which is mind-boggling to me, it's criminal. The fact that more people, if they do know about it, don't fucking talk about it. It's like some level of gatekeeping that's just like fucking Illuminati because no one mentions it. Block stuns in this game are like universal. The frames might change, but from what I understand anyway, I'm not labbed every fucking move in the game, I'm not that mad. The animations speak for themselves. This move is minus 13. Heihachi's down forward 1-2 is also minus 13, for those who don't know. Let's put on this here so you can see what I'm going to say here. Because I'm talking about distinct frames, I'm saying that that to me is a distinct frame. And my consistency comes from reacting to that. And you could say your muscle memory is built off that point, but you have to set a point that you're like comfortable with, as opposed to just like, I think he's recovered now. You're just gonna be pissing in the wind all fucking day. Not gonna get any consistency with it, and it's just gonna be a random jumble of fucking God knows what, right? You'll be at the wall and you'll just be doing this, cashing in the easy bits. You know, that's Go for the pew, man. Do it proper. Anyway, so, all right. Fucking hell. You have... Oh, what the fuck was I even talking about? Let's take a minute here. Oh, yeah. We've got recovery frame. We've got Brian doing this. Right. Look at Kaz's hands. See them? You see this? How do I get lower? Just fucking fly down. Look at the angle, right? Compared to the ground. Look at the angle of his forearm. I have an old video on this there. I've even gotten the Choto once and like in the earlier Tekken 8 Choto plays of the week or whatever it was there, where I'm punishing this first try in a game. And it's because of this. It's not because I'm like, I'm just guessing the timing. Fuck people are like, oh, it's all chance. You have distinct frame where his hands are completely flat, and then you have the one after that where they tweak just that tiny bit. Before he's pulled them back like this there, the recovered frame is right after their level. So what do? I wait until they're level, and then that's when I do my electric. This would be a big fucking ask. Tell you what, I actually find this off-putting. It's, believe it or not. It's fine. So we're too early. Still too early. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Way too early. That's better. I'm saying that because I can feel it. Yeah. A little bit more. A little bit less. A little bit less again. Better. Now we just need the clean input. Because that had two neutral frames. I did the input there, which fucked it up, but you had two neutral frames there. So it's a long delay. Look at the hands. Look at the hands. And there you go. Alright. I don't have a 14 frame move to do that. I guess we should probably have this shit on. For anyone that's going to be picky. Unfortunately, this animation for block has been reduced in the game by the removal of like Heihachi's down forward 1-2, which was a huge one. Kazumi had a similar one. The main thing we'll just draw your attention to is things like Lars's Art Blast, his forward 1+2. I think it's like his 15 frame launcher or something. Brian's have this, which is fucking criminal. This move, it's tracking... Yeah. And if you try and, I don't know, you see a whiff and you go to electric or whatever it is you do. Stupid. So fucking stupid. Minus 13. So stupid. For what he gets for doing it, the risk, like, fucking stupid. I don't think you can armor it, can you? No. You're dead. So there's that, there's Art Blast, all these things there. Now for me, you have to launch this, because it's too good. But the thing it shares with Art Blast is that the way Kazuya's putting his arms together is identical. And both these moves are minus 13. Which means if you can identify the same way I'm talking about down forward 2, that frame of that recovery. Excuse me. Ugh. Sit up straight. You're going to remove any kind of guesswork. I'm going too slow. There you go. So the way these things work, and it can be different for different things here, right? But again, we'll go over this. On block, your hands are clearly, like, your hands are normally by your sides, right? On block, his hands come together to do that shit. And then as he recovers, his hands start coming back out to his neutral point. Now the way it works is that here, when his hands are pushed together, obviously nothing. The very fucking frame, his hands start moving back out to being neutral again there. That's your go. That's your recovery. Alright. So you're timing it on that. And if you're good at doing pews and you're consistent with this, as I clearly am, alright, then you'll have no problem with these things as well. So long as you pay attention to this shit. And again, just like down forward 2, you need to know that frame of recovery. With this, as long as you know this frame of recovery, you're set for the whole fucking game. Anytime you see an Art Blast, you know, you're not guessing. Alright. There are moves in the game which are really fucking annoying, because they completely change the animations. Or they take 3 fucking years to actually get to the point where you can punish them. Like Rage Art, like Heat Smashes. There's no rhythm to them, there's fucking just count to a benign 28 seconds and then do your punish. But that's how you do it. That's how I do it. Back in Tekken 7 when there were a lot more Brians, I was a lot more consistent with this. But it's the same thing. Hop kicks. Another weird one, I would say. Problematic. Just because how fast they are. Like, you can... Same before, but like buffering forward here and then do down forward and 2, right? The reason it's not good, really, is because you're getting less time to just like put the fine tunes into how your thumb's placed, all this shit. You know, your little ticks that are like your thumb's gonna dance over the pad there. It's gonna be the edge of your fucking digit. It's gonna be the side of your thumb. However it is you fucking choose to hit that first button and then get the 2 down, forward, plus down. Sorry, forward plus down together. How your thumbs spread across those 2 to get the input of the down forward on its own now, depending how it is you're doing the input there. I can only speak for myself. All that plays a part. Unless you're just used to timing and that unfamiliarity thing, but it's like even if it's unfamiliar, because you're using a different part of your thumb, you're like, yeah, this should feel unfamiliar, this is probably how it should feel. And then you commit to it, and then you get it. La-di-da-di-da, happy days. Ugh. I don't expect to get this, but, you know, in theory's there. I'm not looking at his hands fucking tall here. Going fucking cross-eyed. Okay, moving forwards wrong. That's good to know. So in theory we should have this soon. Bad input. One before that was too soon. Too soon. Too soon. Way too fucking soon. And this is it. This is your learning. You're doing this all fucking day until you find that moment. And you're just going forward and back in your head and being like, too late, too soon, too late, too soon, too late, too soon. There we go. I don't know if that's the input, the down forward to down forward 2. Probably not that one, it's probably the one before it. But yeah, like, my thumb's moved over to like my palm area, so like lifting it up and pushing it back down, the scrunchiness feels odd and uncomfortable. The dexterity isn't there. It's way easier on the right hand side than it is the left. I would say if you're on pad there, because your thumb's just too scrunched up. Getting that release isn't quite the same. It's not a pop. One more. Just positive feedback, positive feedback, positive feedback. All of these are too early. And arguably misinputs as well. Misinputs. Good, you got a forward input there. Good, right. Now let's try. Feel that forward input more. That's why you're getting these forward 2s. My thumb's like flat thumbing the forward input. Okay, probably get that again. Yeah. It's alright. Too soon. Yeah. So you can see we're kind of building a bit more consistency now. It's not taking 30 or 50 inputs though, you're getting there. And look, I haven't done this in like, what, 4 years. Practice pews on P2. Never do it. But that's literally it. I can't explain it more than that. This is like me going back to beginner level and learning it. And the theory's there. I know roughly what I'm looking for. I can feel it. And you're just going off that. Like, you understand the theory behind it and all you're doing is applying it. It shouldn't matter if fucking, you know, the camera's here. It might, because you can't see anything to do with these fucking hands there, but here. Shouldn't matter. Here. Shouldn't really matter. Like, you're not going to be familiar with it, but you're equipped to know what it is you're doing anyway. Doesn't matter. Same thing with, like, your pad being broken and all this kind of shit there. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I played against this Wi-Fi guy on Tag 2 on Xbox. 3 layers, you know. Broken pad, Wi-Fi, Xbox version of Tekken. Right? And I'm pewing that fucking salty prick, right? The broken pad that is literally a shard of plastic. I'll probably have to get an image somewhere there. Probably pull it out. On an unofficial pad, which doesn't have a central stick placement for like the wiggling of it, because it's cheap plastic, they have to put 2 fucking supports in, which are at a diagonal angle. So if you press back, you get up back, and if you press down, you get down back, and if you press forward, it's just completely fucked. And I'm pewing this little prick. First try and all this shit. It's in the channel. It's in the channel. You can find it. Giraffe neck. God love him. He was an absolute shit talker back in the day, though. Yeah, I don't really have much else to add to that. You're just kind of applying those things across the board. That's it. Too soon. Too late. Just felt like the electric was too late as well. Yeah, check the frame there. too. Scruffy. 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 Now your incentive as well, especially if you're playing someone that knows you're doing this, is that they're gonna duck. They 100% will duck. I've got a really good rating of doing this against players like Raph and John Fury, and completely stopping them from doing it, which was the whole point in learning it. Like, I don't want to play against the Brian and have to worry about this fucking move that's gonna push me back all the way here or here, right? And it's just, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Alright, don't want to deal with it. Yeah. This is going on for fucking ages though. Look, you get so much from doing it. Your value is you're scaring them into not doing things that otherwise they're like, yeah, these are great strings there, da da da. Kazuya's got no safe pokes, he's got none of these kind of boom boom boom. I get to win this mid-range poke shit. Blah blah blah. And it's like, well, not if you want to keep your fucking health bar. Right. And that's kind of where you are as the Kaz, to be like, I won't stand for that shit. We eat you for breakfast, you fucking... Ugh. But if they're ducking, which they will be, in the set I've got against Main Man, I'm trying to do it in. I saw he was in a tournament, it's the only time I've ever played him. No warm-ups, he goes in, he trolls me in the first game. I didn't upload it out of shame, because he's just fucking taunting and doing all these stupid, like, disrespectful shit in my face. Just fair enough, right? He's playing against these, like, followers and all this shit. Just wasn't expecting it. We get to the second one, we get to the final match, and I'm doing this. I miss the punish once by doing an electric or a Wind God Fist. The second time he does it, he already knows I'm going to try and do it. So it's either I launch him, or that happens right there, and he ducks it and fucking while standing ones me, and I'm dead. That's basically it, right? And if that dissuades you from playing the character, I would say then you're not meant for Kazuya. Like, it's a fucking inner loathing, whatever it is there. Like, this should be like why you want it. Because you're like, I'm better than you. My time, all my efforts go into way more. You wish you could do this shit though, you know? But it only works if you've actually good enough to pull the goodies out the bag when you need them. And not shit your pants. Oh, dash. You can see its rhythm though, right? It's easy in here because you can build everything. In game, you're not really relying on the rhythm, because it can be like 3 years between each pew you get. So you're like, da, 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 and you've got like a little ticking time bomb going off in your head there of like, nah. And you'll get to a point where you're comfortable that you know what's a 13 frame electric and what's a 14 frame electric. You'll be that intimate with it. You'll know. And you won't even need like frame data to do it. You'll just, BAM, there it is. That's me doing it. So yeah, fucking tempo. Get a good tempo, make sure you are committing to a button even if it's the wrong button. You need to press something just to start that. Like if you lock up, you're never going to do anything, right? There's a fucking Watts thing about an analogy of playing a piano or being taught to play a piano. Where his teacher would put staler rubber across his fingers to make sure he had good posture. But there was another student who used to freeze up anytime he got to a bit he was unfamiliar with it. Instead of playing anything, he'd just freeze completely. And she'd tell him, like, meet your stick over the fucking hands or whatever it was. And she's like, you must not block. If it's the wrong note, play the wrong note. Always keep the same rhythm going. Or always keep the same tempo going. No, always keep the same rhythm going, even if it's in the wrong tempo. You must press something. Condition it so that you're actually doing something. So if you hit the wrong note, it's fine. So long as it's in the right time. Right? If it's the wrong note, it's the wrong note. But as long as you hit the wrong note in the right time, you're laughing, because then all you do is correct the note. Long-winded fucking mumbo-jumbo way of getting to the same point there, but that's the essence of it. That is the essence of it. And all this shit about fucking Kazuya and fucking bufferable inputs, like, piss off. Piss off. This, being jet uppered, you can do as a buffered input there. There is no execution in Brian's 14-frame Punishers. Something that, again, no one fucking comments on, because Brian is not doing PEWGFs when he's doing 14-frame launchers with jet upper. He's just spamming the tits out of jet upper, the same way that Kuni could buffer her electric, which looked more like Kazumi's down forward too. It was a 14-frame launcher that you could buffer days before she's anywhere close to recovery. Days before. You're not holding forward until the last frame and then doing the input. You're just doing the full fucking input and then pressing 2 whenever you want. That was those characters. That's this fucking twat over here. Alright? It's not the same. It's nowhere near the same thing. King's giant swing throw, Julia's mad axes, all these things buffered. They are not the same. A pew is a pew. A taunt jet upper is a legit taunt jet upper. But block punishment, this guy's hacking. This guy's hacking like fuck. I don't know why, it's always been in the game from what I understand there. It's cheap, and it's why I would say fuck playing Brian if you're a Kazuya. Respect the timing, respect the fucking, you know, they've got no easy hacked way of doing backdashes, you know, they get fucked if it's not a KBD. Fair enough to them. Alright, life's hard. Respect it. And a fucking insane Brian is an insane Brian. But yeah. That's probably it. Yeah. It really is that simple though. Like, just correct what you're doing wrong. Look at how bad that was. That was a misinput and completely mistyped. What do? We see it's wrong time and it's slow and it's like slurred fucking input. Well, let's address that. There you go. Right. And if you do it often enough there, you're going to get to a point where you start getting consistency. It just like that. It's really is like simple. Yes. The challenging thing in doing a perfect electric is the physical demand to do it. Right? If you're not used to, you get a lot of comments, people saying like they get 2-frame neutrals. Something like that. Now to me, it feels like when I'm doing a 2-frame neutral here, trying to do a 2-frame neutral, like that to me feels like I've got 5 years. It feels like 30 frames have passed. That's how slow it feels when I'm lifting my thumb up for that long. Like I would rather almost get forward, down forward, like this. I would rather get that input. Because that's like I'm lifting and pressing my thumb that fast. I'm not really giving the cushion time to actually push it up fully before I'm pushing it back in. So it's like the top of my thumb is the forward input. The base of my thumb, I'm just dropping it. But it's more like I'm rocking my, like, the pad on my thumb backwards, or like upwards, like the tip of my thumb's going up. Push the button forward, and then the tip of my thumb I'm like pushing up to the ceiling, which is flattening my thumb, going down over, both down and forward, giving me the down forward input. Right. That's probably how I'd best phrase me doing it, if you're looking for like insight on that there. You're trying to reduce like the lag between your inputs as much as possible. And if you're just bum 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 and you're like lifting your thumb off the fucking pad massively, you ain't gonna, you're not gonna do it. You know, you need something more refined than that. Just like, right, try and find the sweet spot. How I was saying before, that you've got the forward input, changing it down, forward, changing it down. You need to find like that sweet spot. Right? Same thing with like, when does the neutral actually come in? Does it come in when I lift my thumb like 0.5 millimeter? No, it comes in like about 1 millimeter. Something like that. I've never had to do this though, because I'm such a god, I don't need to, but look, if you're wanting to like really get down to the bare bones of it, it's like, well, you need to figure out that then. Like, where is your neutral input being registered on your pad there? How far do you have to wait? And then you're trying to, not how far do you have to wait, sorry, how far do you have to move for it to register? And then all you try to do is you're basically staring at your pad and making sure that you don't go beyond that threshold. But again, you'll have the same problem of wear and tear when you're doing it. The more you do it, especially in this fucking game, and everything's every 3 seconds, you're gonna burn out. So, moderate, blah blah blah. There was a thing done about recovery sleep, or recovery shit. You sleep on something if you're thinking about it. If you're dreaming about PEWGFs there, the chances are that your motor neurons, I think that's how it works there, will actually repair quicker on that specific thing because you're thinking about it. So the whole like sleeping it thing, you know, you've got a problem, you're not too sure how to solve it, and someone says to you, sleep in it. The truth of it is that doing that, actually, like, your brain will hardwire it for you during your recovery, in your sleep, while you're thinking about it, better than had you been awake and we're like trying to, as I'm saying right now, calibrate to it. If you don't get in your first state, fucking adjust. Do what I've just said there, go and sleep on it. Dream of landing pews every time you do a combo, and then come back the next day, have a sit down. You're not trying to get it like first time. Your goal shouldn't be to do that, but it should be to like always be more and more consistent, or be less and less inaccurate, right? It's not like, oh, I'm mad, I did this into this, I did this into this, right? You're like, okay, well, I've done this into this. I know what that feels like. I know what I'm doing to get that input. I'm not pressing down forward, I'm pressing down. Therefore, I want to make sure my thumb never fucking makes this error again. Right? Bad. Better, right? So that would be an improvement, because it's like, right, now we've ticked the down 2 off the box. Onwards and upwards, right? So you just go through it progression-wise there. Don't make the same mistake twice. The number of fucking people you see doing, oh, I can't do it, it's like, are you even looking at what you're doing? Are you even looking? Are you even looking? Are you even trying? Are you paying attention to that microscopic like timing in your head of this is when it is, etc, etc, etc? Almost certainly fucking not. Do you even know the recovery of down forward 2? Or are you just fucking mashing it, you know? Like, it's kind of a big fucking deal if you're wanting to learn it. You know, I'm like, unless you want to spend 5 years in the lab doing this until eventually you're like, oh, I did it by fluke. And then you're trying to hard tune into a fucking fluke that you've got no idea how you did in the first place there. Like, yeah. It's gonna take forever. It's gonna take forever. Right. Not gonna be good. I care about getting results as quickly as possible in the most first order principled way I can divulge. And recovery animations, block animations, like I'm saying with this stuff there, is like the foolproof way. There's no like here's my opinion on it. It's, here's the facts. Here's the recovered frame. Now, how far ahead or behind or whatever do I need to be inputting my stuff there so that I can actually get my input out at the time I need it to? Whether I'm reacting perfectly to the frame itself there, or there's a bit of lag in me and I need to start doing it sooner. Because once you get this one frame input of neutral... Oh, he's getting tired now. Oh, he's getting tired now. Not good. Like, once you do that, that's the 13 frame electric. Technically not, because you got the 4 frames here, but that's on block and all the rest for pews. Like, you can do a pew. The hardest part, you could say, is that one frame of neutral. The hardest part, you could say, is the whole fucking thing, but you know what I mean. Maybe, maybe not. So yeah, I can't really think of what else to say other than, like, there's fucking plenty of people out there who have done fantastic breakdowns there. I will put my hand out there, or my head in the block, and say I don't think Main Man's PEWGF tutorials are very good. I think really emphasising tempo and all the rest of it, and this whole rhythm, etc., between, like, how you're moving across, you're finding this rhythm, this beat to it, is way more helpful to people than just saying, oh, it's forward neutral and down forward 2. And you just do that when it's on block, or when it's on hit and it's recovered. Then you do perfect electric, and people are like, oh, I can't do a 13 frame electric. Like, well, you just do 13 frame electric. Like, that's... It's not really helpful. Sure as shit wasn't helpful to me when I was asking. There's, like, the factual, here's how you do the thing. Here's the binary, there's your input. And then there's the human kind of, right, here's actually a method of learning for you. And yes, I've waffled fuck knows how long, so it doesn't need to be this long, but explaining methods in itself will be longer. I would say, when I first originally thought about doing a video on this, which was donkeys ago, it was embarrassingly long ago there, I think 2 or 3 weeks prior, I might be wrong on the dates here there, but KingSlayerXI or IX, something like that there, released a Perfect Electric guide tutorial, and almost every point he says in there was exactly how I would have phrased it. If not, he's put it better and less waffly. I should have really wrote a script, but it's fucking time it is in the morning, and I've just come off a salty fucking idiot saying, oh yeah, taking mains are lying to you about few inputs there, you can just hold forward and it's dead easy. Shut the fuck up. But no, KingSlayer, I would say, has the best breakdown of PEWGFs there. I will put it in the description or something if you can bother to upload this there. It's fucking 3 years old, or 3 years long, so yeah. I don't really have a top tier list of, like, whose are good. I would say, like, PGF, fantastic. A good person to go into his stream as well. I highly recommend. Because he's, like I'm saying before that, like, once you're doing this stuff consistently, you get very intimate with, not the character, you're getting intimate quite literally with the engine that the game's running in. You're so fucking familiar with it that you understand how X and Y work and all these things I'm saying about, like, on block, and that's just from analysing the engine. It's like, oh shit, this is the same animation, it's the same frames on block. Huh. Steve's orbital, I think, or it's his fucking Peekaboo 1, something like that. It's like a huge uppercut from the ground. Like, Kaz's hands will go, like, above his head. Like fucking blocking an electric. Or like this. Like Brian now, raising his hands up. I think it's minus, or his orbital is like minus 15. Could be wrong on that, but similar things there. Steve's back 2, which used to be a launcher. Maybe a counter hit launcher, but it used to be a launcher, I think, in Tekken 7 now. It was minus 14. It's a weird looking move, and reacting to your own blocks then is easier, I would say, than reacting to him. So you're going off that there. And there's only a finite number of these things in the game. Look at Brian. Look, holy shit. Forward 4. Same animation. Exact same animation. Tell me I'm wrong. You're looking at Kazi here. Oh, the first hit of that has the raised hands. So there you go. I doubt it's unsafe. That would be nuts. That would be nuts. I doubt it's unsafe. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be unsafe. Yeah. Well, 10 frame or whatever. That's -9. It's not right here. Frames are there, Sean. Fucking. Yeah. But I know when I'm recovered regardless, because I know what the recovery frame of this looks like. Like I'm saying, it's when his hands start coming down. So once you get used to that, you're like, okay, every time you see this thing there, you've got it. You don't need to learn every move in the game. This is the big thing for like noobs learning the game as well, I'll just say that. They think, oh, we've got these huge fucking move lists. And there's so many strings in the move list, I need to learn what down forward 3 is on block, what the frames are for that. I need to learn what down forward 3-2 is on block. I need to learn what down forward 3-2-1 is on block, blah 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 blah, and you've got all these strings and you're like, what the fuck? No, just learn that. Dead simple. If you can be arsed though, it's a hell of a cheat sheet. So, you've got that. There's more I could fucking break down with just like general play. Like noobs, how to do the fucking rock, paper, scissors. And I don't mean 50-50, you know, mid-low type rock, paper, scissors. Sidestep homing, blah blah blah. So it's like rock, paper, scissors. Right? I don't mean like that. I mean more like someone playing aggressive or someone playing like a turtle versus someone playing with big brain. It's a triangle. And one beats the next thing. So, aggression's beat by defensive turtley style there. You know, your evasive blows, all this kind of shit there, your fangs, blah blah blah. Your steves. And just destroy people like that. Defensive players generally. This is a bit vague, but they're beaten by big brain plays. So if someone's turtling a lot, you're doing bigger fucking hits, getting your plus frames, and then you go into like mix-ups because they're leaving themselves to go into that there. So, 17 frame low, no, 19 frame low if you're including the input itself, right? It's not fast, it's not 12 frames, right? So it's slow, it's big brain. This is just how I'm rationalizing it to you. So you've got that. What beats doing a hell sweep in someone's face when they're turtling? Well, them just doing a fucking hop kick. Aggression. So aggression beats big play. Turtling beats aggression. Big brain beats turtling. Simple, you don't need to know what the fucking character's doing, you just need to look at your opponent and be like, is he being an aggressive twat? Well, I should probably not mash in his face there because he's wanting to do the same for me and he's probably got his own little flowcharts and shit, so I'm just gonna wait. And if anyone's ever played against Sias, they'll fucking know what waiting looks like. Someone who doesn't push a button for 5 years and then just low parries you because all he's doing is sniffing out your low. The salty low as he calls it. And that's it. That's it. Like, you can make Tekken incredibly simple or you can make it intrinsically fucking difficult. But if you try to get people into the game and open their eyes a bit, it fucking helps to, you know, not just gatekeep all the shit there and make it sound as fucking jargonistic as possible. You know? It doesn't need to be an esoterical fucking debate. It can just be plain common sense. Here's one analogy. Does that make sense to you? No, but here's another analogy of the exact same thing, just put into different words there. You know? Fucking... I'm saying your thumb going across the pad there, so you've got like forward and then you're readjusting your thumb instead of holding forward because that's just fucking awkward there. You'll get a rhythm just based on your little movements and your nerves picking up how your thumb's feeling the pad beneath it there as you're moving it into position to then do the forward, neutral, down, forward 2. Or whatever your input is for your electric. The same way that fucking, was it Djokovic and Nadal or someone? He was like looking at the way that Djokovic, Nadal serves, and it's like the number of time he bounces the ball, then he adjusts his fucking hair, then he adjusts bounce the ball like 2 more times, then he'll tuck his hair behind his left ear, and then bounce it 2 more times, and if he does it exactly that way, it means the ball's going like straight left to the guy's forehand. Either centre court or way off to the left, depending what side the guy's on. And if it's, there's another thing there, it means he's going backhand off to the right hand side of the court or down the middle when he's serving on the right side to the left. These things, right? So it's these kind of ticks that'll build like your muscle memory. And they work. The evidence is all over the fucking place there. For anyone who's legacy, I'll just throw this in as well. And then we'll really shut the fuck up there. You have Devil's Old Hell Sweep. You can just mash 1 there, and you can do like a delayed fucking... Jesus. Delayed 1, all this kind of shit there. In Tekken 7, you had to input another wave dash on that last one there, and the delay on that meant low wall hits on specific combos and other combos where even when they slide down the wall fucking immediately, because you've just hit them with 14 hits or whatever it is there, you still actually have a fucking micro delay to get the low wall hit scaling. And I'm literally talking like a frame, 2 frames. Like, it's that tight. And the way I'd get it consistently is I'd do the hell sweep, and I'd do an instant while running, and then do the ender. So it'd be hell sweep while running, and then that. Like what you see on the screen there, that'd be my input. And all the combo videos I do when I'm doing that, and the games I play when I'm doing that, that's what I'm doing every time. Because my hand is keeping a rhythm of going da-da-da, bum-bum, da-da-da, 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 bum. If you're just da, and then you're just waiting a stale fucking half age, or full second, it's harder to keep track of time. It's way fucking harder to keep track of time. It's like listening to a metronome and then it stops and you're trying to keep the tick going there and you're counting the seconds that have passed, and then someone's got a stopwatch and they say, right, how long do you think it's been there? And you say, it's been about 12 seconds. And they're like, dude, it's been 24. Or vice versa. It's been about 24 seconds. They're like, it's been 10. Right? Like, your brain does not do that well the longer the time is, when there's fucking nothing to contrast it with. There's no on-off. There's just endless nothing. It's your time tracking capabilities, you want to put it that way, whatever it is there, goes fucking to potty. So the longer you do like a hold and then forward neutral, down forward 2 shit, if you're following those fucking idiots there that are like, yeah, that's it, and everyone's lying about it, they're not. They're not. And even when the sentences that are like, yeah, you must do it on the first frame there, there's not a distinction made from someone in the comments or someone in the streams in most of these places saying, right, but does it actually have to be like a 1 frame forward input? Or does it just need to be a 1 frame released input? Like, it has to release on that frame. It doesn't have to be like fucking forward as 1 frame in itself. Can I even... There you go. I'm tapping that with my index finger. Right. It doesn't need to be as 1 frame as that. It can be that. You just need to make sure that the 11th frame of that 11 frame input is the one that is the release when that recovers. That's it. That fucking simple. Anyway, yeah. Again, not a lot of visuals going on here. Fucking, it's probably 10 o'clock in the morning now. If you want the visual stuff and the input history and all that on screen and everything explained beautifully and fucking majestically, I would scream at you to go and watch KingSlayer's guide. It's by far the best one out there if you're actually looking for information and answers and understanding of what's going on there, rather than just like someone saying it and then saying, no, you just do it and you just do it and you just do it. This is like a full breakdown in every single part. So yeah, that's that. Hope you enjoyed. If you stayed for this there, fucking hat off to you there, because I'm a rambling fucking buffoon. And yeah, have a good one. I've been scared of dying alone. Good night.